which is a pretty unique situation. And that's what we want to do with you. Before we get into the questions, I just wanted to share a little bit about my background. I've been working in entertainment actually for the last 15 years. I was born in Australia and have been building tech in Sweden for the last couple of years. I've always worked with entertainment companies. I was digital director for MTV. I worked with Spotify, and I've been following the VTubing industry for the last 10 years. VTubers actually inspired us to start our company 4 years ago. We really wanted to create a healthier, less toxic way for young people to share their lives with their friends on the internet. We saw an entire culture of filtered pictures and heavily edited videos, and we thought there must be a healthier way for young people to meet each other and build friendships online. So we decided to start Logcast, which is the parent company that many of you have been discussing, and it's a voice-based social network. You can think of it like Instagram, but instead of sharing pictures and videos, you share your experiences with your friends by talking, just like we are supposed to as humans. And at the time, I was really following the VTubing industry, and I actually could see a very similar sentiment in many young people who turned to VTubing. It was a way for them to express themselves authentically. They didn't have to show their face or reveal their real name, and suddenly they could just be whoever they wanted to be and be free from judgment. And that's exactly what we have been doing with Logcast for the last 4 years, helping people express the most authentic version of themselves without needing to show their face or without needing to share their name. I'm very proud of us. We're such a small team. We're spread all around the world. We have team members in Canada, in Japan, in Stockholm, in America. And we found we could not trust the big companies like Facebook or YouTube to actually create technology that would prioritize young people, right? So we sat together as a team and we really decided, let's be the ones to build this. Let's be the ones to build a different kind of technology for the future. So we did that. We launched Logcast, which is an app. You guys can get out if you have an iPhone. It's on the App Store if you want. And it's used in more than 70 countries now around the world, which is amazing. We're just so proud of the entire Logcast community. It's mostly podcasters using the Logcast app actually to share more spontaneous on-the-go recordings rather than always going into a podcasting studio. And basically their listeners can follow on spontaneous updates throughout their day. There's also quite a few music artists that use the Logcast app. It's a great way for them to share in between moments between new albums or releases or tours. And again, they can share those spontaneous moments that fans never get to hear. We also launched a partnership with Spotify last year, which we're super proud of. And it actually allows our creators to monetize their voice content directly on Spotify. And that's the first time Spotify has ever allowed creators to actually build a relationship directly with fans and monetize it. So as I said, I would love to take this collaboratively, treat it as a brainstorm. I think the best way to do it, maybe you guys can raise your hand if you want to ask a question. Otherwise, you can DM us on the Twitter if you would prefer not to speak. Of course, we respect you wanting to maybe remain a little bit anonymous. That's totally fine. Just send us a DM on the Global VTuber Awards Twitter and we will try to answer your questions. Chloe is our amazing community manager who I'm sure you all know very well, and she will forward those through to me as they come in. Maybe I will just answer one question up front because I think it's probably the one on all of your lips, and it's regarding the tech conference speech that I gave recently. To be clear, the conference actually asked me to come and give an educational talk on something called agents. If you guys aren't familiar with agents, basically they are like AI-powered assistants that everyday people can use at home, in their life, or in the workforce. They also asked me to touch on the topic of avatars while I was there, just quickly to explain like what could a future look like where we each had an avatar that acted as our own personal assistant. So by no means was this a presentation about VTubers. I actually spoke about VTubers, excuse me, for 1 or 2 minutes only, and the rest of the talk was discussing AI agents. So I just wanted to make it very clear that was not a talk about VTubers, and it wasn't a talk about our work. It was simply an educational talk to a group of about 300 like investors and business people, right, that are much older than all of us. So I had to really simplify things down. Great. Also, before I move on, I also want to discuss quickly what I said during that talk about us helping VTubers train the intelligence of their VTubers. So what I mean by that is we recently did some project work for a gaming company who asked us to bring 2 of their IPs to life. So they asked us to bring one of their anime characters. It's a super famous anime character that's been on television in Japan for 25 years now, and fans are completely obsessed with him. And the gaming company wanted to explore how can we help fans have a personal interaction with this character? Because right now they are just watching the show. They've been doing that for the last 25 years, and maybe they get to watch a film when the movie comes out. But what they wanted to offer fans was actually the chance to talk with him personally and have a one-on-one conversation, kind of like a phone call with a friend. So we helped them develop that technology, and that will be rolling out soon across their network. So that's not coming out at all with Logcast or Oshi. They also asked us to test it out with one of their VTubers. Again, it's quite a famous VTuber. And they wanted to give fans the opportunity to have personal conversations with this character. And so this is what I meant by when I said programming the intelligence of VTubers. Lastly, I would love to maybe put it to the community and ask what you think here. But the way that we see AI, I mean, we're not working so much with it actually, but the way that we see it is actually a possible great tool for the future for VTubers. And when I talk about intelligence, what I mean is how can we help your characters actually get to know fans even better? For example, I'm wondering if you guys would ever be interested in the future of asking your character to analyze like fan reactions in real time and like provide that as feedback after your stream. Hopefully that would make you, become a better streamer, get to know what your fans really want from you, and get to understand just like how your character and its fans are really interacting with each other. So that's something that I think a lot about. I've also seen some great examples from Spotify, for example. They recently launched a language tool which allowed a podcaster to speak in their normal voice live in a podcast and have it played out to audience in other countries in local languages. And I thought, wow, that is so cool. So that is something that I also think about a lot. And I wonder if it would be interesting to your fans. Do you think that they would want to hear your content in other languages? Say you're an English-speaking VTuber, but you have some super fans over in Japan that can't understand you. I'm very keen to understand maybe if that is something that you guys look for in the future. Anyway, so I just wanted to start off with those couple of questions and would love to give it now to the floor, over to the community. Anyone want to raise their hand and ask a question? Or Chloe, maybe you can let us know if any comments have come through in DM.
Okay, awesome. I do have a few here that I've just seen in the comments publicly that I think we all want to address. So you already did the Reflect Fest. I saw a comment about VTubers being concerned I'm going to quote it, selling your soul to AI just isn't worth it for a virtual trophy. You're worth much more than that. What are the prizes for these awards and how do they actually directly benefit VTubers?
Yeah, really good question. And thank you to that person that flagged that. I completely agree. I said to someone the other day on Twitter that the human mind is the soul of a VTuber, and we need to do everything that we can to preserve that. And right now, I think that technology has a very big power in helping VTubers preserve the soul of their character. So, absolutely, you should never sell your soul. Like the human mind is everything, and that will never change. I hope it does not, at least, anyway. In terms of the prizes, we have one grand prize, which will be awarded to the person who receives the most votes from their community. And that is an all expenses paid trip to Tokyo. This is one of my favorite cities in the world, and it has a lot of meaning for our company actually, because Japan was the birthplace of VTubers. And so we really wanted to give the winner the opportunity to come here, come to Japan, experience the culture in Tokyo, meet with other VTubers, hang out with the community here, and really just get to know the DNA of VTubers. So it will be an all expenses paid trip from wherever you live in the world, doesn't matter how far away you are, and we will fly you out here for 5 nights. You'll also be able to come by and meet us at our office if you want to. Otherwise, we'll put together a super exciting program for you. Then we also have a prize for each winner of all of the categories. I think we have 25 categories now, and each winner, so the person who receives the most votes in each category, will receive a cash grant. The reason we wanted to provide a cash grant is these awards are for small VTubers. We were tired of seeing all of the big award shows, like the Streamies, for example, only really care to highlight the big VTubers, the famous ones, right? But the bread and butter of this industry is the small indie VTubers. It's where the most creativity is happening. It's where the most fan devotion is happening. And so we really wanted to help you because we know how tough it can be. You know, streaming takes a lot of time. You're also at school, you're also working or at university. And if some money can help you accelerate your career, then we would be so grateful to support you in that. So each winner of the categories will be receiving a cash grant to help kickstart your career. And you can spend it however you like. Maybe you need to pay for a new model or you want to get some new rigging done. It's up to you. And we hope that we can really help kickstart this next phase of your VTuber career.
Awesome. In regards to like those small VTubers, we've seen a lot of comments, just people being skeptical in it being predatory because they are smaller and have less of a reach. Do you want to just expand on that a bit and like why we're choosing smaller ones?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, this goes back to our early visions for when we created Logcast 4 years ago. Me being working in the entertainment industry for 15 years, working for different record labels, MTV, Spotify, I saw firsthand that these platforms were designed to only cater to the top 1% of creators. I'm going to tell you guys a pretty crazy stat. Let me make sure I get this right from my memory. 99% of the music artists on Spotify are earning 36 US dollars per quarter in streaming revenues. 99%. And Spotify's like mission statement is that they want to help a million artists make a living from their creativity. But that is just not the case. Only 1% of artists on Spotify are making a living from their creativity. And me and the team, we weren't going to sit back and let this happen. Same with Twitch, right? To be a Twitch partner, for example, I think, you know, the minimum is 1,000 followers and you need to have like this dedicated streaming schedule. The smaller VTubers that maybe only have 5 followers or 10 followers or 30 followers, these are the most creative VTubers. These are the ones that are putting in the most effort, but big platforms just turn their eye. And so, as tech entrepreneurs and a great team, we just weren't going to sit back and let that happen anymore, which was our motivation to build Oshi, which is our new VTuber specific streaming platform. It is designed for small VTubers. Even if you only have 5 fans listening to you every day, that's okay. We will still help you earn a living. And people ask me, how? Like, how is that possible if I only have 5 fans? And it's because we are introducing new business models which don't take a 50% cut of your earnings like Twitch does. We even have some features coming out in Oshi which we have a 0% commission on. It's called gifting, which is donations. And 100% of whatever a fan gives you is in your pocket. It lands in your bank account actually within one day. So there's no need to wait for a payout from Twitch anymore. So our entire mission in the last 4 years since we started our first company, Logcast, and as we mature now onto our second product, Oshi, has always been we build tech for small creators. We want to help more creators earn a living from their creativity because it's just not fair that it's only the 1% that can survive on this. It's just not cool. So that's why we decided to make this award for small VTubers only. And yes, some big VTubers have been nominated by their fans. You would notice them on the nominations page. But the ones that we pre-nominated were, I think, 200 that we carefully selected after reviewing. Some pre-debut, which we loved. That was so much fun. The team and I had every day, checking out your pre-debut themes and concepts. Yeah, we are so passionate about this, and that's exactly what this award is about.
Okay, last one, guys, and I did see some hands, so after this, I'd really love to hear from everyone in the space. But why are VTubers saying that you guys are trying to steal their data for AI and NFTs? What's Oshi's affiliation with both of those things?
To be honest, I have no idea where this has come from, and I would actually love to maybe ask some of you of the community to help us understand this. We have been fighting to put on this award show. It's a live show here in Tokyo. We have the craziest surprises for the nominees and winners lined up here in the city. And it's just so sad that now some of the smaller VTubers who are nominated are maybe feeling like they can't really promote this, or they can't vote for their friends, or they can't really participate in this moment for small VTubers. So I think that is the saddest part of this, and why I want us all as a community to really fix this. I think maybe the AI thing has come from my conference talk, which I gave as an educational speech about AI agents. Again, it was not related to what we do at the company. It was an educational talk that I was asked to come to give to 300 business people about the future of AI agents, which is kind of like what ChatGPT does, right? So I think that's where the AI narrative has come from in this storyline. And regarding the NFTs, so Logcast, which is the podcasting app I spoke about earlier, 99% of the podcasts on that app are free, right? If you're a podcaster, you can record your voice and you can share it instantly with all of your followers on the app. You can also choose to charge them to listen to it. So you can set a fee like $5, $10, and your super fans will pay you to unlock and listen to that podcast. And then thirdly, we offer podcasters the chance to turn their podcast episode into an NFT, and they can sell that as a collectible item to any of their top fans, right? They can even give it away as a collectible. But that's I would say less than 1% of podcasters actually choose to do that. Some are super excited by it because it's a way for them to give back to their most loyal listeners. But actually, 99% of all of the podcasts that we see on Logcast are free, which is great. I think, the more people that can listen to your content, the better. So I think that is where the narrative has come from. To be clear, there is no AI and no NFTs whatsoever involved in the Oshi streaming platform. And same goes for the Global VTuber Awards. There is absolutely no AI absolutely no NFTs and absolutely no data stealing from anyone. The only reason we ask you to enter your email when you vote for someone is it's our way to make sure that you're a real human voting, because it's very easy to set up a bot these days, as you know, to vote for you, right, 1,000 times. And it's called reCAPTCHA. Most platforms or websites have this enabled, and you need to request for an email address. And we ask you to confirm your vote. And basically, that's to make sure that you're a real human. We are not storing any of your models. We are not storing any of your Twitch content. Absolutely zero. It's simply a way to vote for your biggest VTubers and keep this competition fair and keep this competition safe.
We'd love to hear from you guys if you have any questions.
I can see 4 requests here. I'm going to invite my friend Niles, who I have spoken with already. You guys maybe saw the interview that I did with him. He's the only person I've done an interview with, actually. And he was kind enough to reach out, which I think is always important when something like this goes on, to always hear both.
Hi. Can you hear me?
Yes, loud and clear.
Hi. Well, first of all, let me say thank you for following through with the AMA. I just wanted to ask about Oshi. I noticed on my research that there was a post on your Medium that mentioned Oshi AI, but I think that's either edited out or erased. Would you have any comments on what it was, why it was deleted?
Yes, absolutely. And I actually made that change today. This is the side work that I discussed earlier. I'm not sure if you were on the call back then. The side work that we did with a gaming company was a separate entity called Oshi AI. By the way, there's another company out there which talks a lot about this. I think their website is oshi.ai. To be clear, that is not us, and that has absolutely no correlation to our business at all. I think it's a company based in Belgium. Just want to make that clear. So in the Medium post, it referenced that the Oshi platform also had a side company called Oshi AI, where we could breathe intelligence and breathe life into digital characters like anime and cartoons. So yeah, we did 2 projects a while ago with a gaming company who asked us to bring one of their famous anime characters, here in Japan, to life, so fans could have personal conversations with that. But there is absolutely no AI built into the normal Oshi app or web platform, which we are soon to launch.
Got it. Thank you. Okay, then I noticed that both Logcast and Oshi have a geo-tracking feature for voice notes. Is that going to remain in the Oshi app?
There will be no geolocation tracking in Oshi, no. The reason it's in Logcast is we have a locations feature. So basically, if you are like at a restaurant in Tokyo, you can actually like search for that restaurant in the Logcast app, and then you can listen to other people's logs from there. It's a cool way to check out like restaurant reviews or maybe like someone's favorite dish on the menu. So that's why we have geotagging. And as a Logcast user, you can choose to turn that on or off simply in your mobile phone settings. But no, it will not be in Oshi.
Got it. And my last question for now would be, is Stama going to be in any capacity in the Oshi app?
I love that you know about Stama. That is so cool. I've never heard anyone ask me that before. That's awesome. So Stama was our first like try years ago, I think it was 2 years ago, at creating a Logcast voice, because we thought if we have a voice streaming app, it's kind of boring to do onboarding in the app with text like a lot of other apps do, right? You learn through text how to use the app. So we thought, wouldn't it be cool if we had like an official Logcast voice who was this cool, sexy Swedish girl narrating you through how to use the app. So that was a voice actor and a music artist who we have a great relationship with. She's like a Swedish voice actor and pop star, and she narrated the onboarding of the Logcast app. But I don't even think is live anymore inside the Logcast app, unfortunately. But no, Stemma will not be featuring in the Oshi app. We will miss her dearly.
All right, well, that's what I have for now, but maybe later once other people get their turn.
Yeah,
Thank you.
for sure. Thank you, Niles. Talk to you soon.
Thanks, Niles.
Okay, should we go to Mistress Briley now? I will give you the floor 1 sec. You should be able to talk shortly.
Howdy, howdy.
Hello. It's so fun hearing from all of you guys. This is amazing. I love to put some voices to the photos. It's very cool.
So, in regards to, you were earlier saying that you're wanting to support the small creators and all of us and all that. Does it not contradict that to include like the biggest streamers as well? As like it is 100% a numbers game, and no matter how hard we try, typically, we just can't keep up with somebody with the following like Shy Lily.
Yeah, it's a really important question, and thank you for bringing this up. This is something that myself and the whole Oshi and Global VTuber Awards team have talked about for days and weeks and months, actually, because for us, we wanted to make this maybe just about small VTubers, but again, we want to be a very inclusive community as well. So we discussed everything from under 18, over 18, PNG tubers, VTubers, like all of this inclusivity questions that we had. And in the end, our decision was no matter who it is, let them nominate themselves or let the fans nominate them. So, I mean, yeah, it's really important. And I think for next year's event, if we decide to continue this together as a community, maybe it's actually something that the community should vote on. Like maybe we start to actually put these decisions out to the community rather than have it be made by the internal team. I mean, what is your opinion on it? Do you how would you have approached that situation?
I personally would have approached it similar to the way the Hidden Gems Awards were held, where it was everyone nominated under 100 concurrent viewers. Because even though 100 concurrent viewers is still fairly large, if I remember my statistics correctly, 95% of streamers on Twitch have less than five average viewers, and then like 5% above that are above 10% or 10 average viewers, and then only 1% or 0.1%, I think, make it to Twitch Partner Program. So, in an effort to highlight small creators, I think it completely overshadows every small creator to include people like Shy Lily and Gargura.
Yeah, that's a very good point. And thank you for sharing those stats as well. That it's so interesting, and it's very similar to what's going on in the music industry with digital streaming. I just read in the news a couple of days ago that Spotify is now making it a rule that your song must be played at least 1,000 times before you start to earn streaming royalties on it. And I mean, 99% of the artists on Spotify are not even getting 10 streams on their songs. So again, this is why we together as a community, us as a young early stage startup, and you guys as independent VTubers and independent creators, we need to team up together, and we need to like build the next generation of tech, because otherwise companies like Meta or YouTube are going to continue to build platforms that always optimize for the bigger artists and bigger creators, because that's what makes them the most money, because they have a responsibility to shareholders, to company owners, right? They're huge publicly listed companies. But for us, we're a small early stage team. We have the flexibility to just run. I love the idea with Oshi, for example, if anyone would be keen to like become part of like a jury or like some sort of committee where any decision that we make about the platform is actually put to the community to vote. It has nothing to do with the management of our company voting for it. not even the team, like every single product decision, every feature, every business model, we actually put to the community to vote. And I think that is going to be the future of tech, or at least I hope so. And I think that a community like VTubers, which stand up so strong with a very loud, strong voice, have the chance to change that, because I'm not sure the music industry can do it. So, but yeah, I mean, Chloe, like, what do you think for, I mean, there's not much we can do for the remainder of this awards. Let's just continue to always highlight smaller VTubers in our like marketing and our promotional material, right? Like, I remember in the early days of the awards when we first announced it a few weeks ago, you were doing your great interviews with some really indie VTubers. I think as long as we continue to lift up small VTubers throughout this and make sure not to give any additional attention to the big guys, then I think that's how we can try to navigate this path this year. And then for next year, what I suggest is we put a vote out to the community on what we do. Is it less than 100 concurrent streamers, viewers, as you say? Is there some other like selection criteria? Then I think we put it out to you guys, you vote for it, and then whatever decision is made, we roll with.
That makes sense to me. On the note of lifting up small creators, I did notice that you had used AI art in the initial advertisements, but it seems you have now switched to current or other VTubers. I can't personally tell if it's AI just glancing at it. I was wondering, for the sake of transparency, can you let us know who is in that banner?
Yeah, I think so for sure. We did a post actually, I think last week to like announce the VTubers featuring in this, because you know, I'm so grateful that the community stood up and like held us accountable for that AI banner. And to be honest, it came from good intentions, but we did it the wrong way. And I fully acknowledge that. And, you know, we learned because you stood up and you said something. So that I'm super grateful for that. The reason we chose to create an AI banner was we didn't want to draw attention to any specific VTuber because that might affect the voting, right? That person would be able to reshare it and say, hey, I'm featured in the VTuber Awards promo banner. And I think this would have given some extra lift to them, which we wanted to avoid, right? But we should not have cut out the great artists and illustrators that are part of this community. That's not fair, right? So we made a mistake and we fully acknowledged that, and we learned our lesson thanks to you guys. So I appreciate that. Then we decided to do a call out. I believe it was one-on-one to some creators we had a good relationship with, or had kind of raised their hand and said, hey, love what you guys are doing, would love to support in any way. And we reached out to them and said, hey, do you want to give us permission to use your model in the banner? And they all said, yes, absolutely, go ahead. We did a post. Maybe, Chloe, you can share who some of those VTubers were?
Yeah, I will preface this, guys. They have, after I think all of the rumors and everything, they've requested we change it. So I've contacted our product manager and we will be updating it. But right now it's Ty the Wolf, Starry Bean, and Mom Brain, I believe.
So please keep all feedback like this coming, guys, so we can remain accountable and we can always do better with this community. So as Chloe said, we are in the process right now of updating it again, whether it's going to be through VTubers raising their hand and say, hey, I want to be part of the banner, or maybe we just don't have any kind of talent featuring on the banner. That's probably what we're going to do. But we will, of course, keep the community updated once the new banner is ready.
Also, Lenny, there were a couple other questions that we got.
Okay.
I am happy to pass the mic off if I come up with more questions. It'd be cool to come back on, but no pressure.
Yeah, please. I'm having so much fun. It's almost midnight here, but I'm like really enjoying myself speaking to you all. So I think we will be on the line for a while. I will raise your hand a bit later on and we can come and chat again, okay? But maybe you can have a little nap in the meantime. I can't believe it's 6 a.m. there. That's crazy.
Time zones are fun.
Yeah. Okay, talk soon. All right. Chloe, was there more through DM?
Yes, I have 3 for you right now. So,
Okay.
this is from Sunday. Why does the show seem so rushed if things like the categories were handpicked weeks or even days before the voting and nomination period happening at once, etc.? If this had love and pure intentions put into it, wouldn't it be worth the wait to put on a well thought out show?
Thank you for that feedback. I mean, yeah, super helpful for us to know that you don't think that it's so well put on. And, I think that we can always improve. And especially if we get bigger budgets in the future, then, we would love to go completely crazy and throw the greatest award show that the internet has ever seen, because VTubers absolutely deserve that. I come from MTV, right? I was participating in all of the MTV awards, and that is my absolute dream, is to eventually do something that big that would be played on televisions around the entire world, and celebrities would be just dreaming to attend. And like, that is our dream here. We want to lift VTubers to be the next generation entertainment stars. So and my dream is to hopefully in the next couple of years hire out an entire stadium, maybe in every city of the world, and we host like the award show at the same time in multiple different cities. That would be awesome. But we do the very best that we can today with the limited budget that we have, because we're such a small startup. We started planning for this award, I think, in January this year. So it's almost taken a year. And what has taken so long is we have firstly been building the Oshi platform. So that has taken a lot of our energy and time. But we wanted to make sure that the website was done very well. And we also wanted to make sure that we had the opportunity to present a live award show in Tokyo, which we have secured. It's happening on December 2 in Shibuya. If there's any Japanese or Tokyo VTubers dialing in, we will very soon announce 2 exciting things. I will just give you a sneak peek, whatever. One, we're going to be having a party for nominees in 2 weeks from now in Tokyo. A super fun party. And then second of all, we will be hosting the award show live in Shibuya on December 2nd. So there'll be 2 events to come to. And we're so sad that so many of you won't be able to fly in. We know it's so far away, but our goal for the next couple of years is to get enough attention on this that we can really invest big in the awards over the years to come. Again, my dream would be to hire out a massive entertainment studio in each of our capital cities where the community is. And at the same time, we're all joining that and celebrating the awards together. But thank you so much for that feedback. And please DM me directly on Twitter, actually, if you have any more ideas or feedback for next year.
Awesome. I think you touched on this a little bit, but I'm just gonna go with it anyways. Why would you think it would be a smart move, knowing a lot of the VTubing community shuns or blacklists VTubers who use NFTs and AI generated materials?
What is the good idea? You mean including AI in our banner image?
I guess so. I feel like this kind of goes back to, we don't know where the whole NFT AI thing came from. But I guess yes, that one.
Yeah.
Not sure.
I mean, like I said earlier, there is no NFTs and no AI involved in either the Global VTuber Awards or the new Oshi platform, at all, zero. So we're really not sure where this narrative has come from. But I will say that we did make the error by creating the banner in the first days on Twitter using AI. So absolutely, that was not a good idea at all. And thank you for calling us out and holding us accountable.
And this last one, I think I can answer this. As you guys know, I'm usually the person who is doing the nominees and accepting them and actually implementing them. So if you guys were scanning to make sure every entry was safe, why are VTubers who had graduated in the running to win? We are getting so many emails every day with nominations. So my goal when I get them is to get as many people in as possible, as long as they are real VTubers. That is totally my bad, guys. If some have graduated, that's something I need to go through this week, actually. I made a note for myself yesterday. as far as the leaderboard, to my knowledge, I don't see any that have already graduated. But like I said, you guys likely know better than I do in regards to that. So if you see anyone that you for sure know has graduated, please reach out. And yes, that is totally on me. I apologize for that.
But Chloe, I mean, you're getting thousands of emails every day. It's absolutely insane. So thank you for putting in so much hard work. I see we don't have any more hands up. Oh no, we do. We have 5. My bad. Okay. Jade, Callisto, maybe we will give the floor to you. Jade, you should be able to speak in a few moments. Hello.
Hey,
Hey.
I'm sure a lot of us are wondering, me especially, because I am a small VTuber, but I've been, like, most of us are probably just worried about the whole NFT thing. That's why we're all really just, nervous and careful about this whole thing. We don't want our image out there as a bad thing, and NFTs are usually involved as something bad. That's why I initially asked for it to be removed, but I'm having my reservations about that now too. So I'm just kind of on the fence. Can you help me? Um, could you help me and several other people who are on the fence to, and assure them that they're safe?
Yeah, and thank you so much for bringing this up. It's super important. I mean, we all have seen what has happened over the last couple of years with NFTs, right? Especially with art and copyright and people not respecting, your art and your craft. And so it is our job together as a community to make sure this doesn't happen again and this doesn't continue, right? Can I ask a question? Like, from the small VTubers perspective, what are you most worried will happen? Is it that someone like a company or something will take your art or take your model, for example, and create an NFT and then sell them in order to make money for the company? Is that like the biggest thing that you guys are worried about, or are you
Yeah,
more
because we don't
worried
really
that
have
you're
much of a voice.
yeah, or are you like have you guys had any experience where like maybe your fans have been tricked into buying some of your art thinking it's from you, but actually it's some like company that has scammed them? Like we as a team are just so interested to learn more about where this fear comes from and what we can do as a company to help protect you guys even further.
See, that's what most people were afraid of, indeed. I think the thing we're most afraid of is like our image being used for something awful, and like like politics or something that we wouldn't want anything to do with. Just like our image is who we are. We are our YouTuber, so to speak. So if we ourselves are being used like that, just think of how that makes us feel.
Of course, it's like having your human face photographed and used for something, right? There's no real difference between your human face or your digital identity. I consider it the same anyway, and I know many of you do, right? Even like you feel more connected to your digital identity than your real human face. So I fully hear you. And I'm just wondering, like, we don't do anything with NFTs in the Global VTuber Awards and also Oshi, like zero at all, ever. And we never will. But still, like, we have the ability to develop like some sort of technology to protect you guys. So maybe we can do another space another time where the community can share like where the biggest fears are and maybe share some examples of how you guys have been exploited before, and then we can maybe try to build some technology to protect this from happening again. Because I don't want to just do things like host the Global VTuber Awards. I want to actually like contribute like for real to the safety, to your careers, your creativity, and like actually build something that matters for real. So I would love to do that in in collaboration with you guys if you're up for it. But
That actually sounds like it could be worthwhile.
yeah, let's
And
maybe we can do another spaces next week. I love it.
I would like to ask, since I initially emailed Chloe that I would want to rescind my application. That was only because of the rumors, I'll fully admit, and I still want to be recognized, but I was just scared,
Of course. And I know I was like so impressed, to be honest, by all the people that like emailed or like wrote on Twitter like, hey, we don't want to be like involved. That takes so much bravery, because this is a pretty cool chance to like be seen, to like really feel like your hard work has paid off, right? That's the best part of the awards, and something that we are so excited to give you guys, that feeling of recognition and finally highlight you to the rest of the world. So to be brave enough to put your hand up and say, hey, delete me, that is so brave. I probably would not have done that. So first of all, like,
I think
well
it's even
done for
more
being
brave
so
that
strong.
people like me are willing to speak out and just talk to you guys, but first it's just blocking you.
Yeah, for sure. I think like this is why I wanted to start a voice social network in the beginning 4 years ago, is because there was so much misunderstanding between people, because human beings were never supposed to communicate by text. We actually did a big research study with a university in Stockholm, Sweden, called KTH. We haven't released the study yet, but maybe we will do that soon, because it's relevant here. The human brain does not know how to compute and understand text-based dialogue, right? That's where all the misunderstanding and fighting happens on the internet. Instead, if people just learn how to have a two-way conversation using language, then we suddenly understand each other better. So that's why it was like so great that people like Niles and everyone said, hey guys, please host an AMA, because I knew if we had the chance just to talk to each other, and if we could hear where your fears and doubts and worries came from, like, then we could do better, and hopefully you guys could feel like, yeah, more comfortable as well. So thank you for being so brave to stand up, because yeah, a lot of people just block and that's it, right? But you were brave enough to come on this space, and that's pretty cool.
I want to say one more thing before I stop saying my speech. You're allowed to bring me back in the nominees if you want to. I apologize so much.
Yay! We would
I'm
love to have you back in. That is so cool. Thank you
I'm
for
just
your trust and support.
well. I'm gonna try and put my trust in you guys. It's not anything against you. It's just like I've had lots of people do this kind of stuff with me before. So I have this weird ability where I can sense when people are being truthful or not, and I can tell you guys are actually mean what you say. So I'm gonna try to put some faith in you. All right?
Thank you, my friend. That really means a lot. And I know it would mean a lot to Chloe as well and the rest of the team. So thank you so much. Where are you dialing in from, by the way?
U.S.
Nice.
Anyways,
Okay.
I
That
hope I
was,
spoke for most people here, and saying that we just want our identities protected, and we just want to have fun with it.
love
And
it. And of course,
that's all
yeah.
I'll say for now.
Thank you so much for being part of this. I really appreciate it.
Test, do you guys hear me?
Yes.
Oh,
Hello.
hello. Hi.
Welcome.
Hi. So I am not a nominee. I'm just talking here out of interest and for my own personal opinion. I would like to hear in regards to the terms of use and the privacy terms, because I read them. Could you please clarify the terms and conditions associated with receiving the prizes, especially the rewards? Are there any restriction? Are there any obligation tied to them? Because there is nothing mentioned about that in the terms of use nor the privacy terms.
Yeah, no, that's a very good question. Thank you. And if you, as a community, think that we need like more detailed T's and C's about the prizes, we can absolutely get our lawyers to draft that up. Pretty simple. The flights to Tokyo are fully covered from your hometown, no matter where in the world you live. And you will also be covered with 5 nights accommodation here. We will also organize you a very fun itinerary, meeting some cool people here and showing you some exciting things. But if you don't want to do that itinerary, that's completely up to you. But flights and accommodation is fully covered, and we will agree and you guys on the best time for you to fly. So that's all with that. If you want more details, like something that's coming to mind is maybe the dates that you must fly. Like, for example, does it need to be traveled in 2024? Or if you guys maybe have school, maybe you can't travel till 2025. That kind of extra detail makes sense to add. So I will chat with our lawyers and maybe provide some more clarity. And then for the cash grants, there is no like terms, nothing needed from you guys. We will simply ask for your bank account details, and our agency who's looking after the payments will simply pay out your grants. Then we can, of course, provide any sort of like bookkeeping stuff for the grant. Sometimes when you receive a grant, it's important to have a certificate of that grant as well. So it's pretty simple T's and C's. But if you have any specific questions, just ask.
Yeah, it was not in regards to like the flight date or something like that, but there was like no terms of condition actually accepting the award, as in like, hey, you have to sign up there, you have to give your art away, for example, or something like that. That is some legal restrictions in there that haven't even been reflected on. And I encourage everyone here to read the terms of use and the privacy terms.
You dropped out a little bit for me. I'm not sure if you did for everyone else as well. I think I caught there was no terms there for what happens if someone like doesn't accept, or how to accept, right? That was your question.
No, more in regards to, hey, we're giving you the flight to Tokyo, but you need to visit our company. We show you our tech for VTubers, or the future of tech for VTubers, which I don't really understand from that point of view. But you also have to like sign these documents or do this and that to actually legally receive the prices. There is no information about that.
Yeah, there's no like hidden terms there. You don't need to visit the company. You don't need to review any like company things or hear about us at all. We just want to make sure you have a great time in Tokyo. So there's actually not much more to add, but I fully agree with you that we should add some more detail there just to clarify that there are no extra terms. There are no extra requirements or steps. So I will chat with the lawyers in our company and ask them to make some changes, and then we will let you guys know on Twitter the second it has been updated, and you can provide some feedback. Sound good?
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you so much for those questions. I really appreciate it. And thank you for being part of this community.
Thanks.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Okay, now we have a Teddy. I'm going to welcome Teddy to the floor. You should be able to speak in a few moments.
Hello.
Hello.
Hi.
Hi.
Just for context, my name is Teddy. I'm one of the writers for VTuber News Drop. So we're a VTuber-centric publication. So we cover industry and community news related to the VTuber industry.
Yeah, I know your site well. Good work on always covering everything so well and so fast.
Yeah, thank you very much. So I think my question would like to follow up on the previous questions of the previous speakers in terms of, you saying that AI-generated art and NFTs won't be included in the VTuber Awards and the upcoming Oshi Up. My question is that why is that Blogcast's mantra, like the whole company mantra, including some of your recent blog posts over the past few months, sort of puts these technologies, Web3 technologies, generative AI and NFT, sort of in a positive light in terms of the future of influencer marketing?
Yeah, a very, very good question. And thank you for bringing this to the table. So my opinion is that AI is here. It's here to stay. and it's not going anywhere. But we are at the very beginning of this emerging technology, right? So communities like this have the chance to shape the future now. So instead of like fearing I believe that we should actually take it on head first, right? We should educate ourselves. We should test out technologies, because this will give us enough of an informed state to be able to make the best decisions for us. You know, I think AI is going to be a fantastic tool for the VTuber community. Do I think that AI should replace VTubers? Absolutely not. Like I said earlier, the human mind is the soul of a VTuber, and we can never let that be taken away. But there's some great AI tools that can help you like scale your business or create better content. For example, language translation services like Spotify is using now to help podcasters talk in any language to fans around the world. I think that's pretty cool. Or, for example, tools that can let you guys hear what your fans are thinking from your streams in real time, rather than trying to keep up with the comments on the side, which can be super overwhelming. Maybe there's an AI tool that can like summarize all of the feedback from your fans and provide content suggestions to you. So these are stuff that we are super interested by. We're not building any of it ourselves. We are purely a content streaming app on Oshi. But we are like very curious. We work in tech, you know, we are like to educate people. We like to learn ourselves. So I think that, yeah, as a community, we have an opportunity now to really shape the future of AI. So we would love to do that in collaboration with you guys and learn more about what you want and what you need, and maybe where you feel like, you know, you don't have enough time to do something, so you would like extra support with a tool, then we would be super happy to explore building that with you. But for right now, there is no AI and no NFTs in Oshi at all.
So what you're saying basically is that through the use of these technologies in terms of, sort of accessibility features, sort of like helping creators sort of summarizing, aiding them in their sort of like organizing tasks. But in defense of that, like to contradict sort of that ideology, because I myself, I've been covering the marketing and advertising space for 3 years now. I do think there's sort of a issue in terms of utilizing artificial intelligence, generative AI in terms of creativity. I've actually covered some while ago about the various potential threats of AI in terms of the VTubing scene and how it affects many artists whose the whole industry itself has been so focused on human creativity. So I was wondering from your perspective, like, do you think from a, how would I say this, an ethics standpoint, is it really important to have AI integrated into the creative aspect of the video game?
Yeah, it's such a tough question. And I think that all of us are just learning now what all of this means, right? I don't think that I have a strong enough opinion yet. I'm still researching, I'm still getting to know about the different tools that are out there. But for me, like, human soul is extremely important. It's why we started a voice streaming app that, you know, it wasn't about filtered faces, talking like and expressing ourselves authentically as human beings. So that is really like grounded in our DNA as a team. But I think like it's very dangerous for us as a community if we fear AI. Instead, what I would like to suggest is that we consider it a friend, right? Like there's this great saying, like, keep your friends close, but your enemies closer. And so if we invest time into researching and learning, we will actually be able to shape the future of this together. And I don't want to let some big company like Meta or YouTube or Twitch set the tone for AI in these platforms, right? No way. They're never going to make the right decision for small VTubers. But what we can do as a small startup is actually collaborate with you guys and build whatever kind of future that we want. So again, I would encourage us all to not fear AI, but treat it as a friend, because if it is close to us, then we can shape it how we want to.
I mean, that's a great insight. But if we were to look at, how would I say this, a recent issues concerning around, especially generative AI, in terms of copyright,
Yeah.
plagiarism. So I do think, well, again, as I mentioned earlier, AI has the potential to help in terms of accessibility for creators. But in terms of the creative prowess of the creators, I do think we still have to raise some sort of doubts with it, which kind of like leads me interestingly to my next question. For you, Logcast, as a company, you started out like sort of like an audio-based platform. What made you decide jump from such idea into VTubers more specifically?
So VTubers actually inspired us to start Logcast 4 years ago. I have been following the VTubing industry for 10 or over 10 years now, actually, since I started working for MTV back in the days. And I was following the VTuber early culture, which was happening in Japan for many, many years. And what really struck me was this is a way for people to express who they are fully authentically and not worry about being judged by anyone, because it's just your voice. No one knows what your face is. No one knows what your name is. You can just be authentically you, and that's awesome. So that actually inspired us to start Logcast 4 years ago. But we, we didn't want to at the time like focus on the avatar, the character, or the art, right? We just wanted to do a very basic thing and help people communicate with each other using language and their voice. So that's why actually we started Logcast. So a lot of people ask me this, like, why the sudden jump to VTubers? But actually VTubers is the DNA of Logcast to begin with, because they really inspired us to create a social network that was just based on expressing yourself anonymously with your voice.
I see. Well, that's a very interesting perspective to say so. And I do want to point out as well, for a lot of the tech industry more specifically, as I've been active as well on LinkedIn, um, many of the tech leaders have sort of like viewed the VTubing scene as leaning towards these virtual influencers, virtual avatars. But I do think they're kind of like in the middle ground. So they're like in between of the virtual influencer space and in the middle of the overall content creator economy. So I do think industry leaders like you, like Logcast, would sort of like realize that the VTubing scene is not entirely related to virtual influencers or virtual avatars, but also realize that there's also a human element to it. So, yeah, I do think there's just my thoughts on it.
I love that you say that, because honestly, I have like meetings with like tech people all the time and investors, and everyone gets this so wrong. They think that like I've seen a couple of companies coming out now with like virtual influencers. So it looks like a human, right? Human body, human skin, human hair, everything, but it's fully like AI generated. And they're saying, oh, this is the same as a VTuber, but they have completely missed the point. The point of a VTuber is that you are, as the human, still expressing your human self fully, but just through the privacy of either not showing your face or living out your true self through the way that you believe that you look and the way that you feel. Maybe you don't feel comfortable in your true human skin. You feel more comfortable behind your character or your avatar, and that is so beautiful. And I think a lot of the tech people completely miss that. They think that, oh yeah, it's just a virtual idol, but not at all. Like, VTubers are so human, and this is why I keep going back to saying we must preserve the human mind of the VTuber, because that is the soul of the VTuber. But yeah, thank you so much for flagging that, because I have these meetings every day and I am so tired of hearing them all say this.
Yeah. Anyways, that's all from my end from now. And by the way, for those who are asking, I'm reporting from the Philippines. So yeah.
So many people from around the world. I'm having so much fun. I hope you guys are as well. It feels like it's such a beautiful community, like all corners of the world. I can't believe it. Thank you for joining from the Philippines. I've never been before. I would love to visit.
Hello.
Hey.
All of these questions are very heavy, I believe. So I think the Global VTuber Awards is a very, very great opportunity, for virtual YouTubers and especially PNG tubers, because I know a few PNG tubers who would love to be a VTuber, but they don't have the models and stuff. And also, speaking of VTubers, I believe that Kizuna Ai and Hatsune Miku are one of the best AI powered VTubers of all time, especially Hatsune Miku, where they have all these music. Hatsune Miku has made all these music for everyone to enjoy, and thus both of them have jump started the VTuber industry to its core. Now, as a more lighthearted question, what do you think of Hatsune Miku and Kizuna Ai in general? Thank you.
Very nice to meet you. Where are you dialing in from?
I would rather not reveal, but
Okay.
I'm from Asia.
Nice. Yay. First person speaking also from Asia. Yeah, I mean, I highlighted these two in a speech recently that I did at a tech conference in Cyprus, because I was asked to come and give a talk about like AI powered agents, which is AI assistants. And I wanted to share like that this is not really that new technology. I wanted to share that there has been a very niche industry doing this for a long time, since 2007, I think Hatsune started, right? 2007 or so. And I said in that speech, like AI powered virtual entertainers. And a lot of people in this chat in Twitter have said, oh, they're not AI. Like, how can you be so stupid? But actually, they were AI powered, not themselves in the terms of they didn't have their own like AI intelligence. They didn't have their own autonomous ability to interact. But they were Vocaloid software, right? Which uses AI technology to take real life human vocal samples and then synthesize them into a singing voice. So this was the first example actually of AI idols. So that's what I meant. And yeah, I think it's brilliant. And also the way that they allowed community involvement, right? The community had so much opportunity to create songs together or to guide her and participate. And I would love to see that kind of like community style of VTubing start. I mean, maybe it's already happening and I'm not aware of it, but I don't know if you guys would be keen to see like a collaborative VTuber maybe come into play where we could all participate and guide it. And I think that would be really cool. But yeah, I agree with you. They are such amazing examples of early innovation from Japan. And yeah, I think they absolutely had such a big part in kickstarting the VTubing industry as a whole.
Okay, to continue, how about Kizuna Ai? What do you think of Kizuna Ai as well? I believe Kizuna Ai is while Hatsune Miku may have started this virtual thingy or whatever, Kizuna Ai was the one that I think most of the community would know that this is the one that really jump started this VTuber trend or this virtual performer streamer thing. So what do you think of Kizuna Ai?
Yeah, I think she generated like 3 million subscribers on YouTube in the first week or something that she debuted, which is super impressive. And I also spoke about that in my conference speech. And also her ability to entertain a real life crowd. I mean, I think it was in Tokyo actually. She performed in 2022 or 2021. I can't remember. There was 120,000 people in the crowd. I mean, that is like so impressive. And again, this shows the power of virtual entertainers, and it really is the anchor of why I believe VTubers and virtual entertainers and virtual music artists are going to be the next superstars. I don't have any doubt that in the next 3 years, we will be seeing VTuber music videos on MTV. We will be seeing VTuber music charting at #1 on Spotify, you know? And I'm so excited for this. And it sounds like you are very passionate about them too.
Yes, and also I'm somewhat passionate about AI as well. Like I it would be cool, if we could have AI VTubers that could, I mean, sure, right? We cannot replace the human soul, but in the end, we would end up in this world where we could have an AI partner, an AI VTuber that could, speak to our side, that could, listen to us, and we could have a little fun with our AI. We could interact directly rather than have a human do all these very exhausting tasks. I think it's very exhausting for a human as well to do all these. I hope I hope
Yeah.
that's great.
No, I've been thinking about this a lot as well, and I think something that it reminds me of. Do you guys remember Tamagotchis? Did anyone here have a Tamagotchi back when they were younger, or am I showing how
No, I've
old I
heard
am
of
now?
them before.
Okay. I think maybe I'm older than everyone. I don't know. I had a Tamagotchi, which is like this little, like, kind of digital pet that you had to like feed and make sure it had water and clean up its poop. And it was so much fun because it was like your little digital companion. And I used to carry it in my pocket at school every day. And I loved it like it was a real pet. And so when I think about the concept of like artificial characters or like artificial anime characters or something, I think that we could really like have such cool companionship, as long as we don't lose like the human companionship that's very important for society and social structures and everything for young kids. I'm very passionate about making sure that young kids grow up in a healthy way and learn how to communicate. But I think, yeah, it sounds super fun to have I hope you guys can still hear me, but okay. Okay, Jay, sir, editor, VTuber, news drop, above all, are human.
Hello.
Hey,
Uh,
hey.
on? Okay. All right. Okay. So, Jay Agone from VTuber News Drop. I'm with Ted. So, all right. I understand that with all of these matters revolving the Global VTuber Awards and its similarity to the one being organized by Philian, and of course with the advocacy of introducing artificial intelligence to VTubing, if I got that right, and with the matters of course, the community right here is not really open to the fact that artificial intelligence, generative AI. You mentioned earlier, and I'm just catching up with everything. You mentioned earlier that you're advocating for AI to be a companion, a friend, which has been brought up by the likes of Gatebox, wherein they got the Hatsune Miku companion, or like Wonderstat AI, where they got like some VTubers from Face Connect uh, to be their companions. But in the wider world or in the wider space of VTubing, I understand that you're in a situation where you want to advocate for artificial intelligence to be a companion for VTubing, and the fact that the community is gatekeeping this advocacy, for the lack of a better word, because it's for the right reasons. The artist community, especially in the Philippines, I'm calling in from the Philippines. We have lots of artists here who are doing and producing work and doing live 2D rigging and all that stuff. And they do not advocate for artificial intelligence because it will mean that their talent will be used without them knowing. Their voice will be used without them knowing. Their style, their voice will be used without them even knowing. Like we've already had the kinds of deep fakes that's been running around in circles, especially in the dark web. So it's kind of grim, but I would like to ask your perspective on the situation that you're into, because you are hosting this global VTuber Awards, and you're saying this is for the benefit of the VTubing community and at large. But of course, there's definitely backlash, especially with our colleagues in the VTuber news scene, talking about this in a different light, if I say so myself. So how What would you like to say about this?
I mean, when I said earlier that I think it would be cool to have an AI companion, I mean, that's just my personal opinion. And I think I would personally have fun with a little digital friend. So I'm definitely not saying that's the stance of our company or our vision. But me personally, I mean, it would be super fun to have a little digital friend to hang out with. That's my opinion. Um, Regarding VTubers, absolutely, we need to do everything that we can as a community and as tech partners that we are to preserve the human side of VTubers so that we never lose that. So yeah, I'm very very passionate actually about protecting VTubers and working together with the community to build technology that can protect us in this next generation because AI is here. It's not going anywhere and we cannot fear it. We need to face it head on because then we have the opportunity to guide this industry forward and we have the opportunity to build the kind of technology from day one. If we just start talking about it in 1 or 2 years from now, it's going to be too late. So I really encourage VTubers and us as a community to gather together and start to make these changes today.
All right, I understand that. Okay, I'm trying to understand what you were mentioning just now. So despite all of the backlash that you have faced, I understand that you're still advocating for this, and you said that you're really passionate talking about this matter right now instead of 1 to 2 years. But as the situation here is that we've already seen what's happened with the scene. Of course, this is still a grim reminder, most especially with the Board Ape Yacht Club, with the non-fungible tokens, with cryptocurrency, with the risks involved. But that's another thing. We're talking about generative AI, which of course, okay, I'll pull in another example, Ilis, which is from this is an AI tuber. We have several AI tubers, especially with Bandai Namco, like Go Round Game. So I'm pretty much aware of that. But yeah, setting that aside, I'd like to raise this question because, and I'd like to raise another question because I'm checking with some of the sources that I have. You've had partnerships. You have partnerships with Bandai Namco and Warner Music Japan for your Oshi app. So how are they doing so far?
There is no NFTs and no AI whatsoever included in the Yoshi platform.
Okay.
Absolutely zero. Regarding our partnerships with Warner and Bandai, it is from a content perspective. So, for example, a Japanese music artist, her name is Alice Peralta, is an early user of Oshi. Oshi is currently like private in invite only stage right now, and she creates content in the Oshi app where fans can listen to her, you know, making her songs or hanging out with her friends behind the scenes. It's purely content. There is no AI whatsoever inside Oshi.
All right. Okay. So that's clear. I understand that. All right. So I'm checking on Alice Peralta right now. No? Um, so Alice Peralta is doing content on Oshi, which is I understand the way Oshi is developed. Is it like Clubhouse or like right now we're reaching to Spaces on X?
So we have two apps that our company makes. One is called Logcast. It's been existing for 4 years and it's used by people, like thousands of people in more than 70 countries. And basically, it's a voice streaming app. It's on-demand content, not live. So
Okay.
basically, you press record, you can share a story about like your upcoming album. You can maybe like discuss something that you're feeling after like fighting with your boyfriend, and you can share that and your listeners can listen. It's kind of like Instagram, but instead of sharing pictures, you share voice notes. So that's Logcast. We will
Okay.
soon be releasing a new app called Oshi, which is not released yet. It will be released publicly on December 2nd. And right now it's in private mode. So creators can only access the app if they're invited. And that is going to be a members only platform. So it's a way for you to develop like very intimate connections with your biggest fans. So it's not like so ideal for famous VTubers. They should keep using Twitch because That's where they can earn the most revenue from thousands of concurrent viewers, right? But with Oshi, it's designed to help smaller VTubers build closer relationships with like their top 10 fans, for example, and it's going to be members only. It's also going to be the first streaming platform that is exclusively for virtual entertainers only. So we actually won't accept any creators who are like human creators, like a podcaster or a normal music artist. It's going to be purely the first exclusively designed streaming platform for virtual entertainers.
All right. Okay. So Oshi as an app works. I understand it works like Clubhouse, but the main protagonists or the main proponents here are for VTubers, and we're just listening to them. We're chatting with them. Did I get that right?
Yes, but no live content. You can only record something and upload it. So maybe your favorite VTuber, they did something fun on the weekend and they record a voice memo for 5 minutes and they share it in the app. Then all of their subscribers in Oshi can access that. And we also have one-on-one personal chatting. So you can actually have a private conversation with your favorite VTuber, which actually was the #1 most requested feature from this community. They were like, we want like private chats with our favorite VTubers. So we are super excited to bring that to life.
All right. And also, are there any options for monetization? And what would be the share?
Yeah.
I know I'm speaking out of nowhere, out of thin air, because we're catching up on a lot of stuff here because there are lots of developments. So, for the benefit of everyone, I would like to raise this question again.
Yeah, amazing. Thank you. And I will need to go after this question because I am 2 minutes late for a second meeting, but I would love to maybe organize another spaces tomorrow at the same time or something so we can continue because there's so many people that requested that I haven't got a chance to get to. But to answer your question, Oshi is going to be a members only app. So you won't be able to like log on and listen to stuff from a VTuber unless you subscribe to them. And this is one of the ways that we support smaller VTubers because if they maybe have 5 super fans, right? Only 5, but those 5 can't just jump on and watch free content anymore. They must pay. The VTuber can decide how much they want to charge for their subscriptions, right? It's totally up to the VTuber. You can charge $1 per month. You can charge $5 per month or 100. It's up to you. And then the way that we make money is we take a 20% commission on those transactions. If you think about Twitch, they take 50%, which we think is just absolutely not fair, especially if you're a small VTuber. You already have such a small earning possibility. When Twitch then takes 50% from that, I mean, you're left with nothing. So for us, the bare minimum to like keep Oshi going and creating a great platform for you guys, we will only take 20% commission, and we will also make all donations between a fan and a VTuber 100%. You guys get all of the money. We don't take a single cent from that. Donations are 100% yours, and they're actually paid into your Oshi account instantly, and you can withdraw them from your bank account at any time. So if you want to do like a stream and you sell 1 subscription in the morning, you can go 10 minutes later and buy yourself a cup of coffee. And, you know, this again goes back to our mission of building a first streaming platform that is designed for smaller creators and not just the top guys.
All right. Thank you very much. That would be it for me.
Thank you so much, Jay. And guys, I'm so sorry. I have to jump off. I'm 4 minutes late for a very important meeting, but it has been so amazing to talk to you all. Thank you so much for being willing to come and share and discuss. I think I can speak on behalf of the entire team. We did not expect such welcoming arms and such an understanding community that was willing to hear our perspectives. So you guys have really like blown me away today. I am even more passionate to just
smash these awards now and put together such an epic show, an epic celebration month ahead. So I hope that you will join us in celebrating small VTubers and really giving this community the attention it deserves. But let me know in the comments if you guys want to jump on another Spaces tomorrow. I would love to hear from the rest of you. Okay, everyone, enjoy your day or evenings ahead and can't wait to talk soon. Ciao.
Thank you.
Ciao.